All right.
Hey there.
Aloha, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Mermaid Nina here with another edition of Let's Plan Your Disney Vacation. As you guys may or may not have known, we did take a 3-week hiatus. We kind of felt that the day before Thanksgiving was a better time for us to kind of be with our families and do those extra little family activities. I know I made pumpkin pie. And then the following 2 weeks, one of them, Nick was at Disney. And then the week after, I went to Disney. So it kind of just...
Well, and Amanda's been at Disney a bunch because someone decided to move to Orlando.
We're not talking about her.
No. Why did we have her on?
With us.
Did we have her on here just so we could turn off her video and not talk to her?
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
So we can be mad at her because Amanda moved to Florida and gets to go to Disney kind of whenever she wants. And so
I actually saw her on my trip.
We did. We saw each other.
We're kind of like jealously hating her right now.
Well, yeah, because it's snowing where we are. So.
Oh, yeah. And it's snowing here. Like I almost thought about flipping the camera around and doing the live in front of my window, but it's dark, so you're not going to see it. But I'm in a full-blown snowstorm right now.
Full snow. She is dashing through the snow.
Yeah, exactly.
Quite literally.
So, as I said in the beginning, we are here to talk about Christmas at Disney because all three of us have been there recently and have done it before. So we can kind of talk about the difference between now and then. And on top of that, as always, we are here to plan your Disney vacation. So please ask us your questions, follow along, and comment with us because we're here to talk Disney. And we've already got a hello. Hey, Bridget.
Hey there, Bridget.
Hey, Bridget.
So, Nick, you want to start the intro?
Sure. What's up, everybody? It's Nick from Who Dat Travel. And as Mermaid Nina has been talking about, we are going to go through and talk about Christmas at Disney specifically because, well, all of us kind of dig it and all of us have been there recently. We took our families. I went to all the parks. I know Nina went to all the parks. And, well, considering somebody lives down there, she probably goes to all the parks too.
I haven't been to all the parks yet.
What is she doing on the live? Kick her off. She needs to have done all the parts.
She's out of here. No,
bye.
But we all, yeah, bye.
Hi, Charlie.
Hey there, Charlie.
Bye.
So all of us have been recently, and there's a lot of hubbub of, is it as good? I mean, because of everything that's been going on for the last 6 months, everybody is asked, is Disney still as magical? Well,
yes.
Spoiler alert, yes, it is. But we'll go into some of that and talk about, are there negatives? Of course, there's always going to be some negatives somewhere. But we're here to look at the positives and but we're going to give you our honest opinions. Is it as magical? Well, to me, yes. Again, spoiler alert. We're going to go through and we're going to talk about how it's still as magical.
It's a different magical.
Oh, absolutely. So, and I will put this one on the table right here and now that any day of the week, I will take a cavalcade over a parade. Any day of the week.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
Love the cavalcades. And I hope that is something that absolutely stays. Because the pop-up magicalness of just like, boom, oh, look, here comes Santa Claus is awesome. And I love the fact at Animal Kingdom that, oh, look, there's another boat. And, oh, it's Launchpad McQuack.
What?
Now, right.
I'm a child of the 90s, so I grew up coming home. Oh, yeah, he was on the boats.
I did not see Launchpad. I saw Pocahontas and Nico, no Launchpad.
If you check out the short that I put up today, you'll see Launchpad McQuack. But yeah, I love it because
there's snow on Main Street still. I don't think it snowed.
There is not on Main Street. However, if you do need to see the Snope, and
there is Snope.
The Snope is actually at Disney Springs.
Don't go on a Saturday night.
Do not go on a Saturday night. Do not go on a Friday night. It is crazy.
It is closed, Charlie. Disneyland is closed right now.
Disneyland is still closed. But yeah, the snow on The
And it
snow
snows
on
on the
Main Street,
Frozen
I did
show.
not see. And that was sad, I guess I'll say. But if you do absolutely have to see it, you can head over to Disney Springs. And Disney Springs is definitely a spot to go to because of the parade or the trail of Christmas trees or somebody help me out.
The Christmas tree trail.
Oh, Christmas tree trail. Okay, I was close.
Wrong order.
That is a really cool thing to see too. And they've got a great, I mean, they throw in the Haunted Mansion tree even. I mean, come on, it's awesome. But overall, Christmas down there. Now, Nina and I both are from the Midwest. We are from spots that it snows, it's cold. Amanda, you guys just moved from, the north.
Yep.
Where I'm guessing you guys got a decent amount of snow. Am I correct?
Yes, they are currently getting between 1 to 2 feet of snow.
Well, we call that a Tuesday where Nina and I are from, but
yeah,
whatever.
I mean, it depends on the year. Some years it's, a couple of like bigger snowstorms.
Okay.
One year we got 120 inches in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it depends on the year.
Fair enough. But so you come from somewhere that it snows to a point that if it snowed down there, we'd have some major problems.
Yes.
But it is, to me, I live in a spot that I get 4 seasons because I like winter. I'm weird. But being down there in the middle of, December, and the fact that I still feel, Christmas magic, and it's amazing the fact that you can do that. And yeah, the Christmas tree stroll. Oh, yes, Nina.
I was going to say that I think the reason it doesn't snow on Main Street is because it really so the snowing on Main Street is in reference to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which is not going on right now due to COVID and everything going on. But it snowed when Santa came down Main Street. And of course, it snowed in the evening because it's an evening party. So I don't know about you guys, but it was about 5 or 6 o'clock. And then I didn't see any more cavalcades.
No, as soon as dark hit, I never saw a cavalcade after dark.
Yeah, there's a
technical... So it would be hard to then snow if there's no cavalcades. Right? Are they going to have it snow at noon?
Well, it does here, but that's another story.
I think it's mostly the effect of the snow is at its greatest is when it's dark and they have all the lights.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everything to kind of activate and just make it even more magical. I mean, I will be that person that will admit I cry every single time Mickey's not so scary. Mickey's Very Merry. Santa's coming down. Music is playing and it's snowing and I
do too. It's just because I have Snope in my eye.
Right. Is that what you tell the wife? Yeah.
Yes. It's just because. Now, I was just going to say, I believe there's 4 for Magic Kingdom.
But it depends on what you call a cavalcade, right? So there's 4 float-like parades, but then there's Dapper Dan's. There's the Disney Philharmonic.
The Toy Soldiers.
Yeah. Which for me, the Philharmonic was behind the Toy Soldiers. So it just depends what you're calling a cavalcade. So for me, if it's taken that parade route, I'm calling it a cavalcade.
Now, I never saw Disney Dan or Disney Dan, the Dapper Dan, which is horrible to me because I love the Dapper Dans.
Dapper Dans are my favorite part.
Yeah, but I never saw them when I was there. So but I did at least get to see the Cadaver Dans, which.
Right. It is beautiful, Charlie. The Christmas tree at Main Street. We were just talking about that. It's going to be a whole different argument. We were debating between which of the 4 parks has the best central park tree, and all 3 of us have a different opinion. So
we do. Well, I guess that's a great segue into it. We might as well talk about that a little bit. is, so we talked about the cavalcades, how we all love them, but the trees are kind of, everybody has their own opinion. Now, I'll start because I'm the loudmouth. My favorite tree is actually Epcot. I love the twinkle. I love how it's all set up at night. And I'm talking about lit trees here. Now, for me, that was the one that just like I could sit and just watch it all night type thing. Now, Nina, yours was...
I got to go with, well, if I really got to pick, I'd say the Grand Floridian.
Well, let's stick to the parks, though.
No, I do like Magic Kingdom for me because I am a classical girl and something about the Magic Kingdom tree. But to be honest, all 4 trees, there's nothing wrong with them. I'm not over here like, oh, Hollywood.
No, by no means. We're just choosing our, like, if I only could pick one, gun to our head, which one would you choose type thing. And for me, that's Epcot. I really liked that tree and just the twinkle of it.
Wasn't up this year though.
Disney fan, we will get to the parks because I have that same feeling on Hollywood Studios.
They're saying their favorite is Hollywood Studios, but Amanda has a completely different favorite.
My favorite is Animal Kingdom. I just think that the ornaments there are just so like authentically Animal Kingdom.
Yeah,
they are.
And for me, during the day, I love the Animal Kingdom tree. But as we were talking, waiting for the live to start, to me, it's the earthy tones, the lights. They're beautiful, but they just don't have that same poof to me.
I love them. But what's interesting though is, would you say that, Nick, that Epcot is your favorite park? And Nina, would you say that Magic Kingdom is your favorite park?
See, that's the thing. Guilty.
Because
I wouldn't say that Epcot is I love Epcot. Right now, it's definitely not my favorite just because of all the construction. I still love going to it though, because I love the festivals. I love I love the different countries. Mm-hmm. But no, I wouldn't say that it's definitely my favorite. Magic Kingdom probably is my favorite park.
And I would also
agree. Yours, Amanda?
Yeah, Magic Kingdom is definitely my favorite park as well. But Animal Kingdom is like a super close second. So I feel like that kind of weighs in on why I love that tree so much, is because like my mom's been to Africa. And so like she brought home things with her that are just like the things on that tree. And so it's like knowing how authentic it is to Animal Kingdom and like that part of the world versus like, of course, Magic Kingdom has a gorgeous tree. Of course, Epcot has a gorgeous tree. Of course, Studios has a gorgeous tree.
All of them do.
But it's like Animal Kingdoms is just so different versus the other 3. And I think that's why I like it the best.
I will say that to Amanda's point, out of the 4 trees, which we've all seen, Animal Kingdoms is really on point to their park, to their theming. So I will say that in that aspect, Animal Kingdom really has an amazing tree, because Epcot's is just, it's lights, it's balls, it's pretty. And Magic Kingdom has, classical kind of things in there. But Animal Kingdom, I feel like they really had to think and imagineer that tree to come up with those ornaments, because they really are ornate. And I will say that I did completely film that tree. We went around the whole tree to get all the ornaments, which will eventually be up on my channel. So even though it's not my favorite, I definitely see where Amanda's coming from.
And it's different. It's the only tree that you don't have to actually like ding, ding, ding to see it.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see it without technically going in.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say this too, that the base characters that surround the tree.
I don't know. I just love it. I just love it. Which, by the way, Animal Kingdom is the one park I haven't been to yet, so I'm like dying to get back to that tree. We're going back Saturday, so
not jealous at all.
No, not at all. Now, we've talked about the trees, but okay, how about the parks? What is your favorite there and why? Now, being the loudmouth, I'm actually going to avoid it this time, and we'll go with Amanda. We'll go reverse order.
Magic Kingdom, 100%.
Okay.
No doubt.
Now, why is it your favorite?
Okay, well, growing up as, again, a child of the 90s, I had the Disneyland VHS sing-along tapes, as all of us Disney like people did. And
I play it every year.
I would play the Christmas one. I haven't watched it yet this year, but like, first of all, that like Donald like digital song is literally the funniest thing I've ever seen. But I always watched it, and like they showed the tin soldiers going down Main Street at Disneyland, and I always was
cried.
like, I cried watching it because I was like, this is so cool, this is so beautiful, I want to see this. And then last year we went to our first Very Merry Christmas party and got our seats, you know, packed in with everybody else when you could actually be close to other people. And however many people were very, very close to me, watched me sob like a baby because the tin soldiers came down and they were doing their marching and they're playing and they're drumming. And I literally sobbed. Like,
me too.
Uncontrollable. Uncontrollable.
Okay.
Like, even like seeing people's videos from the parks right now, because we didn't see them when we were there. We're hoping that the next time we're there,
we'll see. I have a short on my video if you want to cry.
Okay, great.
I have all the cavalcades in one video.
Like seeing them, I still cry. Watching the Dapper Dans, like we saw the Dapper Dans when we were there, and I cried because something about Christmas and music just brings out the emotional side of me. I mean, I'm an emotional person anyway, but Magic Kingdom 100% for literally the music of the, you know, the PhilharMagic band or the Main Street band, whatever, and the Tin Soldiers and the Dapper Dans. And then Jingle Cruise. Like, it's the only ride that gets a new overlay at Disney World.
Well, and that's the thing is Disney World kind of gets gypped on the whole overlay thing because you have the Jingle Cruise, but you don't have the Haunted Mansion overlay, which I don't know if I'm a giant Haunted Mansion fan. Like probably my favorite ride. My favorite ride,
100%.
But I don't know if I would want it to be overlaid. I think that it's great that Disneyland overlays it, but keep it at Disneyland. If you really want to go do it, go to Disneyland and see it.
Yeah,
I agree. And maybe I'm off base, but that's just my opinion.
No, I agree. And I think a huge part of it is because there's so many people that come to Disney World as their once in a lifetime trip.
Exactly. And they we all have to remember that, you know, we're not the once in a lifetimers. Mm-hmm. And so some of the stuff that we're going to say on this is the fact that, you know, Amanda lives there. She's going to be, as she said, there this weekend. My wife and I have been talking about going after Christmas as a last second trip, but the price of flights just skyrocketed. So we probably won't, but our next trip is in January. And I know, you know, Nina's a travel agent, so she's down there fairly frequently. You said your next trip might be in spring.
That's the family trip.
The family trip is in spring.
You never know when Nina's gonna hop a flight.
Screw you guys, I'm out of here.
Nina, you had your hand raised. What did you want to say to the class?
Have any of you actually seen the Disneyland overlay?
The Haunted Mansion one?
In person?
Yes.
Yeah. I wanted to go this year and see it, and obviously not happening. So
to me, I've seen it countless times. I was actually there the very first time they did the overlay. My name was actually on one of the presents because you had to pay and get your ticket ahead of time. And they printed everyone's names on presents.
That's
which
cool.
I have in a really bad, like old cell phone video somewhere, I'm sure, all shaky. I'm not dissing the overlay. I love it, but it still reads Halloween-y to me than Christmas. So,
well, and that goes back to the debate if Nightmare Before Halloween is Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas or a Halloween movie too, though. So
right. So
we won't go into that.
if I had my opinion on it, I would love if Haunted Mansion did its own overlay and did its own Christmas overlay. If it's Nightmare Before Christmas, fine, but more on the Christmas side of it and less on the Halloweeny side of it. Like I would love to see, because in the Disneyland overlay, you know, instead of her blowing out candles, she leans over a giant gingerbread house.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Changes every year, and that's really cute and cool. But certain parts of it, like I would love for it to be just a little bit more Christmassy and a little less nightmare-y.
Yeah, like Disney just put like some garland and like a Christmas tree in the ballroom scene. Like it can be as simple as that. As
right.
simple.
Like it doesn't
I'm
have
sure
to
there's
be
more
over
to
the
it.
top.
Yeah.
Throw a couple Santa hats in the graveyard scene.
Yeah, the ones that pop out of the boxes just have a Santa hat on top of them.
Exactly.
Oh, it would be. I hope so too, Charlie.
Oh, Charlie,
So
I just did that drive from New Hampshire, and it was interesting.
So Disney fan asked us a question earlier, and I was sitting here, and I can't think of my answer. I can think of a non-park answer. What's your favorite non-tree?
Now, for me, it's the tableaus, the moving tableaus in the windows at the Emporium. I love those. I could sit for an hour and just go through all of those and watch them.
Those are cool.
I like the Santa hat on Gertie at Hollywood Studios.
I do love Gertie.
And I just, as Nina, you were saying earlier, that I love those retro decorations at studios, except for the creepy little like boys. I don't even know like what they're doing, but they're very, very creepy and I don't like them.
What voice?
Boys.
What
like,
boys?
I don't know. There's like these three little creepy like
figurines. Aren't they by Brown Derby?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
They're
just
little
creepy.
Decorations in the bushes?
Yes.
Yeah, and there's like three little boys and they're really creepy and I don't like them.
Are they Campbell's Soup characters?
They kind of they have that gist to them. But
because I filmed it, so I remember it, but I remember filming Gertie. So for those of you who don't know, the dinosaur that's in the middle of the Hollywood Lake or whatever, as you walk towards Star Tours, there's a giant dinosaur. That's Gertie. And so she had on a Santa hat. So that's who we're referring to. Now, and then the water in there. What?
Talking about Gertie, have you guys ever noticed, and with the parks being now they're still now at 35%, but being emptier, I've been noticing things that I have just never noticed before.
Yes, because there's no people in your way. I love it.
No,
and you can take your time.
Have you guys noticed Gertie's footprints going into the lake?
Yes.
No,
I did not until this last time I was there and went, oh my God, there's giant Gertie footprints with like cracks in the cement. And it's amazing to look at all of this extra stuff that you haven't noticed before.
Well, definitely gonna have to go and watch.
It's like they're probably 8 foot Gertie footprints.
Great.
Never noticed before.
I love Gertie. But anyway, so that the lake that Gertie is near, they drop just random, what do you call them? Little bauble ornaments, little ball ornaments.
Yeah, Christmas balls.
Christmas balls. I love that. And I love that when you walk around the bushes, there were a couple of deer, but they were like vintage deer, almost like the old ceramic deer, you know, grandma or Auntie Susan or whoever would like have on their little shelf.
No, and that's why, and Disney fan, you had said it that, you know, DHS was your favorite, you know, decorated park. By far, to me, if I had to choose a park that just kind of, I love for Disney.
Where are these?
What's that?
Where are the umbrellas decorated like Christmas trees?
Yeah, that one I don't know.
Disney fan, where are those? Did I miss that?
Yeah, I don't remember that. Now, going
True,
back,
true.
I love Disney, or I love Hollywood Studios. I love that 50s feel of the decorations and the music. That to me just, I love going there for Christmas. I completely again, things you don't see.
I wonder if it's in my video and I need to like go back because I haven't edited everything yet because I literally got back like 2 days ago. I'm gonna have to look at that. I might have just been filming and then not paying attention. You know,
I had little man asleep, so I walked around the lagoon quite a bit too. So I'm trying to remember.
I know. I'm literally looking on Google right now, just looking at Hollywood Studios at Christmas to see, but I can't see anything.
Yeah, because I remember the deer because I love.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I see. Hold on, Hi guys, let me see if I can.
I filmed that area, but I haven't looked at the footage yet.
See how the
yes,
like,
that's right by the deer.
Yeah, that's right by the deer. Okay, yeah,
it could be in my video. Who knows?
Little details that we miss.
And that's what Nick was saying. Like, I feel like it's almost like it's a new park to us because there's so much less people. As someone who goes every holiday season, definitely it was either like they decorated differently or you're finally seeing stuff because it's not blocked by all these people.
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge is the same way.
Oh yeah, I mean every time I go in I see something different.
Yeah.
And it's now Galaxy's Edge, obviously they don't decorate for Christmas. You know, in the galaxy far, far away and
Life Day?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't have that there. So that and yeah, I know. Now, Nina, was Toy Story Land decorated when you were there?
It should have been.
Now, it was not when we were there.
The only thing I noticed, so we were there.
I gotta look at pictures.
Like not Saturday a couple days ago, but the one before. So the day after that we hung out with you, Nick. And the only thing that I noticed different, which doesn't mean it was the only thing that was different, was that on Slinky Dog when we walked by, Slinky had the jingle bell sound going and Jesse was making Christmas talk.
But Rex still didn't have the hat.
He did have the hat.
Oh, he did have that.
He did have the hat.
So that was different from when I was there versus because Rex didn't have his hat yet.
Yeah, he definitely had his hat when we were there.
Now we were there.
You sure?
I'm showing pictures. Woody is not decorated. Rex has no hat.
I could have sworn that he had a hat. It definitely was doing Christmas sounds in the park.
Yeah, they had the Christmas sounds, but you know,
I took December 10th, these pictures.
Well, there we go. Because I was there the 1st through the 7th. So, and I was kind of like, I was just like, oh, because I don't know. I love the dumb little decorations of like throw a hat on Rex.
Yeah.
And that was something I had heard that the cast members had said that, you know, Toy Story is kind of the last one to get decorated because they've got the Christmas lights up anyway year round because those are your lights.
Yeah, see, now I'm looking at my footage to see if I can see anything. Of course, I didn't take any footage of... Well, Buzz doesn't have a hat on. I can tell you that for 100% sure.
Yeah, in the picture I took, it was the sign. And so definitely not Woody, definitely not Rex, at least by the 10th. I didn't look at the footage. That was just my...
Yeah, so I'm wondering if they'll even, obviously, because it's now, the 16th, if they'll even decorate.
Yeah, I don't know why they would this late.
I'm wondering why they didn't.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? If they're going to put the Christmas sounds and the Christmas track into the music, you know.
Yeah.
Would they be run out of time?
To put one hat on?
They could be running out of people to do it, though, too.
Yeah, true.
So, unfortunately, the cutbacks probably will affect some things somewhere, and maybe that's it. So
I want to know whose job it was to put on Rex's Santa hat, and I'm gonna go and call up Chapek and be like, hey, you need to hire them back. Rex needs a hat. His head is cold.
What is it? guest.services@disneyworld.com. I would like to complain about my trip. Rex,
if we all send it in, maybe it'll happen.
There we go.
Oh, that's funny.
I wish I had one. They don't make them for me. I'm vegan, as you guys know, with a lot of food allergies. So I think the only Christmas snack that I can have, which sadly was not very good this year, is the black and white cookie that's part of the cookie stroll at Epcot. It wasn't the same, and it was almost like they kept it in a refrigerator. It really tasted cold, like they just took it out of the refrigerator. And last year it had like a hint of lemon that kind of just felt so good going down. This was very much just like a cookie.
See, for me, it's part of the cookie stroll was actually
Bye, Charlie.
Night, Charlie.
Was part of the cookie stroll as well, but it and I don't remember the name of it, but it's the German cookie.
That's what I was going to bring up as well.
It has a jam in the inside of it. Little man ate half the cookie on his own, so he downed that one.
I ate the whole cookie on my own.
Yeah, well, yeah, it happens. So at least I've got 3 people to divvy up cookie over. So the cookie stroll was, all right for us there. But that was probably my favorite. I'm gonna talk a little negative for a second. My least favorite. Starbucks has a amazing looking cupcake. It's the tree cupcake.
Starbucks count.
It shouldn't, but that's another completely
So you had the tree cupcake and it wasn't good? We had
the tree cupcake. My wife waited, and I will say I do not buy Starbucks. I'm not a coffee drinker, but we avoid Starbucks here. But we won't go into any of the talk about that. My wife went, well, do you think it's okay? I'm like, let's go ahead and get it. You can't get it anywhere else. Go ahead and get it. She waited in a line that literally went down the block, back on the other block, and then on half of the other others.
No.
It was probably a 45-minute wait.
Which Starbucks is this?
The one in Magic Kingdom was the only one that had it, to our knowledge, at least.
The tree cupcake.
Yes.
Is it the one where you split it in half? It looks like Mickey.
Yeah. You got it. When you open it up, you split it open, and there's Mickey on the inside. Now
they had it at the Contemporary.
Oh, they do have that at the Contemporary?
Inside the BVG gift shop. It's in my video.
Oh, okay.
Link in the description below.
So if you open it up, and the nice thing is that it's not all just frosting, the tree portion. It's actually cupcake. But it was the driest, burntest cupcake I have had in probably ever.
No.
It was terrible, as my wife and I joke about saying.
Terrible.
It was
they had to overly bake it because it's how you make
overly baked it. Plus, it was like it had sat out for like 3 days. It was bad, and my wife wasn't going to tell me.
It's like at DisneyWorld.com.
Yeah.
Bad cupcake. You ruined my trip.
Yeah, you ruined my trip. Was it worth seeing? Yes, it was amazing to be able to see the Mickey on the inside of it. Cool. That's where it ended, though. So, that's just my 2 cents. Just my opinion.
Pro tip: if you live close to Disney World and you're going to Magic Kingdom, stop at Starbucks beforehand so you don't wait in the long line.
Don't wait in the 45-minute line, or just go to Joffrey's.
Or get the resort mug and get the not so amazing coffee at your resort and deal.
My wife does get coffee before we leave the hotel every time. So
my husband owns 2,000 resort mugs because there's no meal plans. We're not on the meal plan.
Yeah.
I go down there and I buy him the $22 mug so he can get unlimited coffee, and they're falling out of our shelves, and it is what it is. But coffee's $4.50 at Disney. Just generic Disney coffee, fill in the blank restaurant, $4.50.
So really, if you're there for more than 4 days and you're a 1 cup a day at least coffee drinker, get the resort mug.
Get the resort mug.
Get the resort mug. That's just my little pro tip on that. But
there's your tips.
We originally wanted to talk about the difference between this year and last year, and you wanted to touch point on the parade. So the big draw for Christmas at Disney World is Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which isn't happening this year per COVID, social distancing, fill in the blank, whatever. It's not happening. And that made a lot of people upset. But there are things about that party which have some negatives to it and some positives. And the difference between this year, for example, the party is about 100 and something per person.
Yeah. And as you get closer to Christmas, it gets more expensive.
And it gets more and more expensive. And so the party is a late night thing, starts at 7, ends at like midnight, 2 o'clock, depending if they change the time. You get unlimited cookies and hot chocolate. And sometimes if you have food allergies, you can get apple slices and apple cider. But the big draw is the Christmas parade, right? And the
fireworks.
And the evening firework.
Yeah. And they light and the castle was lit at that point with
the castle was lit, and then the characters.
Yeah. So to me, we touched on the cavalcade. Now, to me, I will take a cavalcade any day of the week. I love the cavalcades.
Love them.
Now, would it be cool that they had them at night? Yep. Yeah, it would. But overall, the fact that, it's a minute. Like in a minute, they're gone. But you get to see characters, and we touched on this with the whole Animal Kingdom. I saw characters that I've never seen in my years at Disney, like Launchpad. One of my favorite 90s kids, like Launchpad is a character that I can see. Like,
so jealous.
But you don't see that on, back at, the Very Merry Christmas Party or that type of thing. So to me, I love the fact that those cavalcades are there, and they've replaced the parades. And that's a good one. This year, for those of you who don't know, last year they put, and I'm trying to remember the number, it's hundreds of thousands of lights that they put on the castle. And they had Elsa light the castle, and a big production of the ice lighting, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. This year they did projections. They've projection mapped the castle, and they have 4 different rotating ones. And when we got down there, they started doing, every time they'd rotate, they did a little firework display. Now it was just a little poof, quick, nothing big, but it still was magical to be able to have a couple fireworks going off.
I will say, I have a video coming out on this Sunday, but the thing I liked about it though is each poof was different. So after each projection, which is different, the poof, the burst of fireworks that's at the end of them, is different. And I appreciated that, because they could have been lazy and just done the same one poof, but each one is different.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like you sit there long enough, you get a couple different bursts. No. But I guess, go ahead.
And that's the thing, is people are literally just sitting there. Like, I'm not sure if they realize that it's every 15 minutes on the 15 minute. Because you'll just watch people just like,
oh, it just went, oh,
not gonna go for another like 12 minutes. You're good. But yeah, it's every 15 minutes that changes, and it's like clockwork.
It is. And there is a clock on the castle that you can stare at.
Now there's another
interesting. So the castle just got the makeover.
That may be, because
the castle is still wet, and they didn't want to install lights on them until it was really crusty paint job finished.
Yeah, because they usually do them. I mean, they don't do them, in July when they were still painting the castle, but they usually do them fairly early. They start putting them up. So they would have had
They do, and they just don't turn them on because they basically look like icicles. It basically looks like Elsa froze the castle is essentially the look of it.
I'm sure that might have something to do with it, but I'm sure, I'm a program manager for my real job. Your amount of man hours that takes to set up is giant. I mean, that's a huge thing. You bring in multiple cranes, you bring in, just as a cost savings, they have that castle mapped. They know. I have a feeling they can do a projection without even testing it on that castle.
Yeah.
Because they've done it so many times.
Well, they project on it for every other holiday and parade. I mean, the Halloween party.
Exactly. So in other words, they know what it's going to do. So man hour wise to put projections. Yeah. Not to take any magic away from Disney here, but that's being a program manager and a project manager. Those are the things that go through my mind while I'm there going.
How did they make this work?
So seamless to have your projects and programs work so well that no one has anything idea. That makes it more magical to me. I'm a geek. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
And I thought they didn't do the lights because it would just draw more crowds.
I think that's some too, but at the same time, if you're going to do if you're doing projection, I think projections may actually draw more crowds because you're changing them.
And it's something new.
Yeah.
So you've got people that are like, oh, I have to, stay later than I normally would at Magic Kingdom because they're doing something that I haven't seen before.
Versus lights, just turn them on. Tinkerbell flies through, they're on.
Well, even eliminate Tink, poof lights. Yeah.
Great. I can look at them as I'm walking out.
Yeah. So I think to me, the projections probably are drawing more of a crowd.
Which maybe they want more selling of the popcorn buckets and whatnot.
Could be. Now I think the question though, I mean, we've chatted at depth about it, but the question is, what do you guys prefer? Did you like the projections or did you like the lights more?
I like the projections. And it hurts me to say that because I feel like it makes me feel very like new age, like, oh, I'm the cool hip millennial that likes all the new stuff versus the old stuff. But I like new things. I'm excited for new Epcot. Like I'm excited for, all of these new things that are happening in the parks. I wasn't sad when Great Movie Ride left because I was
hugely disappointed, but
how do we get rid of her? I can't believe she said that.
But like great ride. But I was excited for something new. Like, I don't know. For me, like, the only thing that I'm like, don't touch it, and they're going to, and it makes me so sad, is Spaceship Earth. But again, I'm sure once new Spaceship Earth happens, I'm going to be like, I love this. This is great. So I love
the thing is, I get that they have to update. Am I going to be sad when Dame Judi Dench, when her voice is no longer, yes, I will be devastated to not hear her.
Hold on. They're getting rid of her voice?
No.
I'm pretty sure.
When they upgrade, somebody else is going to be doing the voiceover. I almost guarantee it. She's not the original. She's not the original voice.
But her voice is so soothing, and I like
it. It really is. And if they don't have the Think the Phoenicians line, my shirt makes no sense anymore. Well, not this one, my other one.
And if they change the disco girl's clothing, I have nothing to make fun of.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be something new.
My wife as an engineer hates that. Like, yeah, because as an engineer, I walk into a lab with, disco boots and, ready for the club. So
yellow tights, mini skirt.
Yeah.
And the new, what's funny to me is completely changed the subject. Has anyone seen the new movie on Disney Plus? It was like called Forgotten Heroes or Forgotten something. It's about all these women who happen to be African American who helped launch the
Oh
first
no,
or
that's
second.
not crunching number. Yeah, my wife actually got the company that she works for paid for her entire group to go and see it.
The movie.
Yes, that was a
It's on
team
Disney
building
Plus.
experience.
It's phenomenal. First of all, it's phenomenal. My kids watched it. Disney needs to make more movies about the forgotten heroes or patriots of back in the day. But the first thing I thought of was these women who are, Black, African American, which the woman we're referring to in Spaceship Earth is of the same nationality, right? So it's the same kind of thing. We're doing the computers and launching into space, but their outfits are completely different.
Hidden Figures is what
like a discotheque, and the other women are wearing like very nice little 50s garb.
Oh yeah, Hidden Figures is the movie.
Yeah, Hidden Figures. Anyway, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw that movie. I was like, wait a minute, they're not dressed like they're ready to go to a discotheque. They're not matching Spaceship Earth.
Knee-high boots and everything. Yeah, no.
What's real anymore? Did the Phoenicians actually?
Anyway, but it's a good movie. So back to the subject at hand. I guess the thing I want to get to about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, not that I want to diss it at all. Once it does come back, I will be the first one to go, pay my fee, whatever. But I'm going to be a little negative about it. It's a lot of sitting and waiting. It's a lot of sitting at the curb, waiting for the parade. It's a lot of sitting at the curb, waiting for the projections or the castle to light up. It's a lot of waiting in line to see Jack and Sally or whatever character you want to see. I liked what's going on now because I didn't have to pay $100 per person and I didn't have to wait for anything. And I saw my favorite float, which is the Mickey and Minnie one, the one with the Christmas tree. Did you guys see it? And the little train that goes around.
Yep.
Beautiful. Little toy train. I mean, that float gets me every single time. We got to see Santa, right? You get to see.
I will admit that, and this has nothing to do with Mickey's Christmas party or whatever else, the fact that I have the most adorable pictures of my boy with Santa last year, and the fact that I couldn't have him sit on Santa's lap this year, it hurt. However,
he probably just hit him in the head with his wooden spoon.
Exactly. Yeah. However, for those of you who are going to be down there, Disney Springs, if you do not know, has an amazing thing for those of you who have a PhotoPass. The PhotoPass shop, which is by Disney or by Goofy's candy company, has a virtual Santa. And they have some of the most amazing pictures with virtual Santa. And it's included in your PhotoPass. So they actually did some just great photos, and I'm actually trying to bring them up right now. That they shoot on a green screen, and we literally waited. There were 2 people in front of us. That was it.
Yeah,
and then one had to leave.
Yep.
So yeah, it was fantastic. And of course we ended up using them for our Christmas cards, but let me see if I can.
Family and friends, don't look. Oh, that's cute.
But yeah, it's our little man.
Great.
That is, telling Santa, or like, wait, I've got a hat too, Santa. And that was our Christmas hat. And it was just fantastic. They did here's this one that, Santa's looking at little man. They did a fantastic job. So the fact that I couldn't get him sitting on Santa's lap, well, yeah, that hurt.
Awesome.
Justin, awesome. We're all jealous.
Not me. I'll be there in a couple days.
You're still jealous. Come on.
I am still jealous. I mean, obviously, anytime I can be in Disney. There are, I believe, in Epcot in the World Showplace, I believe there was some sort of brownie something. It might have been more of like a chocolate tart. I can't remember. I went with Mackenzie Taylor. Shout out to my girl Mackenzie. We went and she got some sort of Mickey shaped chocolate something.
I remember it, but I don't know where it was. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's in the World Showplace in between Canada and the UK. But I don't know if it was actually a brownie or like some sort of like chocolate tart kind of thing.
I will say you can get a chocolate brownie over at the other theme park.
Uh-oh.
And it's very cute. It looks like a reindeer.
Were we mentioning that place?
And it's vegan and it's delicious. And yeah, so if you really jonesing for a brownie, hop over to that other place.
But going back here, overall, the magic really is there, and it's.
Oh, here we go. We found a brownie.
Oh, I knew that was a thing. They also have it at the Contemporary. Again, shout out to Mackenzie Taylor for bringing me some. Yes, they have the peppermint bark, and then they also had like a chocolate brownie cookie with like crushed up candy cane on top.
Interesting. So I filmed the whole treat cart over at the Contemporary for Contempo Cafe. They have a whole cart out in front with random desserts and chocolate covered Mickeys and Minnies, but there were no brownies.
Weird.
That is interesting that, the brownie is such a, not iconic, but such a huge treat that so many people love.
And it's easy to eat. It's not like a cupcake where you're like... Ugh.
Exactly. But
or
they go to the cupcakes,
treat,
which we discussed earlier, and not happening again. But yeah, it seems that they would do more of those. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they should do more foods that are easy to eat and less foods that are complicated. That's just me.
And less Instagrammable. I'll take
and that's the thing is everything is, well, not everything, but so many things.
Photo-worthy.
I got to go for the Instagram photo, whereas yes, food needs to be visual too. You eat with your eyes. I get that. But at the same time, I would rather it taste good than ever have another Starbucks cupcake like that.
I will say the one at Universal was very festive. It had candy cane for ears. It was delicious. And thanks to my gal pal, Bridget Buzz, for bringing it to me.
Yeah, Bridget.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop, Bridget. So yeah, you just never know where you're going to find a good treat. But that's the hard thing, as Nick kind of says, is just because it's adorable doesn't mean it's the best tasting.
Well, that goes to any of the food too. Is one of my favorite treats, we'll say, or I don't want to say meal because it definitely isn't a meal, but there's a bread bowl at Germany with the cheese.
Oh,
it's awesome.
Oh my gosh, we literally were thinking about just drinking the cheese out of the
bowl.
Yeah.
Well, actually, what I wanted to do was get a second one and then go get one of the big pretzels.
That would have been a good call.
Yeah, but by the time I figured it out, we'd eaten like half the bread bowl, and
my only complaint about it was that
there wasn't enough cheese.
No, there wasn't enough bread. Like, why would you put like the little vegetable things on it? No, just give me more bread.
Oh yeah, get more bread. Or
yeah. Are you talking about the one to buy at like Food and Wine, like one of the kiosks?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the Germany Pavilion, and that was one of the things this year, and it's fantastic. It is
very good.
Awesome. But is it Instagrammable?
Nope.
Not at all.
No, but that pretzel is. Every year I take a picture of my husband holding it up to his head and it's like this big.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing is, the pretzel, it's gimmicky, but I love it. And I was crushed in October when they didn't have the Gildens, the mustard. They didn't have the right
Oh,
mustard.
yeah.
They only had just like yellow
Generic.
French's mustard. And I'm like, no, that's not right. Ah, yes. Disney fan with the brie. Then don't they also have a in one of the shops have a brie bread like that's I think it's like all year that they've got a kind of a brie in a bread that they cook. I could be wrong though.
I don't know, but you have me sold at cheese with bread all year round.
Oh, pretty much. Yeah, it's
Well,
fantastic.
now that
So-
Amanda lives there, she's now going to be on the forever hunt for as much brie and bread as she can find, apparently.
Or
Cheese and
any,
bread. You're
any cheese. Any cheese and
just
bread.
gonna have to
Any-
keep walking around the world to burn off all the cheese and bread.
It's fine. It's worth it. Totally worth it. By the time I burn them all off, I'll grab another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say that after 8 days of overeating, I only gained 2 pounds.
Hey,
I actually, as weird as this sounds, I lose weight every time I go to Disney.
that happens
I
to Mike as
usually
well.
do. This trip is different. We overate by like a lot.
Now, I normally overeat. Look at the size of me, but I mean, it's just how it is. But yeah, we walk. I mean, so much there that I can eat normal and still lose weight.
Yeah.
So, but it's
What of it? I hardly know anything about. Well, what do you want to know, Justin? We
Where are you
know
going?
about snacks.
Where are you going tomorrow? We'll give you some recommendations. If it's Epcot, anything with cheese
you know,
and bread.
Epcot. We can roll through. That's that one. And I love eating at Epcot. But I love so many different types of food. And then, unfortunately for Nina, with the veganism and also the other food allergies, you can't just walk up and go, I want that, which is what I do all the time.
Yeah.
So,
I have very specific snacks that I know I can have, and I research. But I will say Magic Kingdom, since he just typed it up, we're gonna give you some tips, Justin. But for me, the vegan in me, as soon as I see that almond cart that's right next to Jingle Cruise, I will buy 2 or 3 almond packs. They're $6 a piece, put them in my bag, and we kind of snack on them throughout the day. I'm also a sucker for a Mickey pretzel, which are also vegan. It's hard to get a Dole Whip in the park. I think it's between us stuffing our faces and stuffing our snacks that I never seem to manage a Dole Whip, although that is also vegan. But we did finally Dole Whip at the Polynesian.
Oh yeah, Dole Whip for me. Yeah, funny thing, I have a similar bowl, and that was Little Man's bowl for oatmeal from Disneyland right before they closed down. So that was he ate everything of oatmeal out of that bowl. So
I wish I would have gotten the bowl sooner, but Justin needs snacks at Magic Kingdom. I'm assuming Justin is not vegan, so.
Okay, well, we recently discovered, so I can't have Dole Whips because I am allergic to pineapple. And I also can't have ice cream very often because I am lactose intolerant. So I have to take pills when I eat all of my cheese and bread bowls.
Oh, no. Well, I would say the nice thing about Dole Whip is it is actually non-dairy.
Yeah,
but so can you have like the orange?
So that's what I was going to get to. We have recently discovered the Citrus Swirl.
Yes.
At Aloha Isle, or not Aloha Isle, at Sunshine Tree Terrace.
Speaking of that, for treats, they actually have, and I can't remember the name of it right now to save my life. There is a little orange bird treat currently that it's a little sponge cake, and it is absolutely Instagrammable. It is really cute, but it is honestly really good too. And I'm trying to find my pictures of it right now.
I will say that there is a cart right next to the castle. So if you're facing the castle, it's on the left side, and it's a holiday flavored churro that comes with eggnog.
No, don't get the churro. Worst decision. Oh, that's wicked cute.
That is cute.
Yeah. And it was really good too.
Mike and I are very.
The line was all the way down and around the corner to get the churro. So I assumed it was good.
Now, Mike and I are so passionate about the churros. Like, they weren't bad. Like, we finally had our first one back in July. But it just was like, it was such a waste of money for, like, I don't know. There were so many other things that I would have rather have eaten. Like, I'd rather go and get Gaston's
The
cinnamon
cinnamon
roll.
roll.
Yeah.
Cinnamon roll.
Yeah, the Kakamora float is absolutely my wife's favorite. It's coconut flavored Dole Whip, and then has, if I remember right, it's curacao or blue curacao syrup on it. Wife absolutely loves that one. And then with pineapple juice, I think. But yeah, it's very, very good, and it is amazing how coconutty the Dole Whip actually, or that flavor of Dole Whip is. And you do get a really cute murderous pirate little cake pop too. So
It's cute.
I'm sorry, little man is obsessed with Maui, or I'm sorry, with Moana right now. So we've watched it about 13 times in the last day and a half.
I was going to say in the last day. Yeah.
Yeah. So how many hours are in the day? Yeah. Divide that, and it's just on repeat, basically.
A festive Mickey had what? Cookie?
At the bakery at Disney Springs by the Lime Garage.
Yeah, but what is the festive Mickey head? Is it a cookie?
Oh,
Because they have the Mickey cookies at the Contemporary as well in the gift shop. So there were, I'm talking a lot about the Contemporary, which is my video that's coming out on Friday. They had different holiday treats in the Contempo Cafe, which is the quick service location, and then completely different treats, not even the same, at one of the gift shops that had a full-on bakery counter inside where they did sell the Mickey candied apples and the Mickey shaped cookies and the Christmas tree cupcake. It's like a mini cake. Interesting.
So like at Amorette's?
Ooh, that's not near the garage though.
Yeah, that's not near the Lime Garage though.
Because all the table service restaurants, you can get a celebration cake, which is different. He's saying a mini cake. Interesting. Well, I'm glad it was good for you. If you are vegan or gluten-free, Erin McKenna's over at Disney Springs has a variety of sweet treats always, all the time. My kids got 4 different cupcakes, couldn't stop eating them, blue icing everywhere. They were happy. There were crumbs everywhere, but they were happy.
If the spring roll cart is open and you haven't had a spring roll, I would definitely try that.
No, okay, I gotta. Which is your favorite though, Amanda?
That line was long. I walked past it.
I don't like the cheeseburger one, but I also absolutely hate pickles.
Yeah. So the cheeseburger one's my favorite. So
we've had the pepperoni one, which was fine.
I thought that was okay.
Yeah, it was fine. We had the cheeseburger ones, which I hated. But everybody else loves, which is fine. No, that's a personal thing.
One hands down is my favorite. They actually had the line was insane. Was Philly cheesesteak when we were there.
I have not had that, but I would love to have that. But I really liked. They had the buffalo chicken one was pretty good.
Ooh, that one would be pretty good too. And for those
the egg roll cart, that's the one right in front of the Adventureland
sign. Yeah. I was just gonna say, for those of you who don't know, there is, and for years, and we're talking about those things that you didn't know until you actually like take time to look. But forever, I thought like this was just regular spring rolls from Asian type spring roll. No, that's not what these are. So, because I've passed that cart 100 times, but what they are is different flavored spring rolls. Now they look just like your normal Asian spring roll that you would get at any takeout place, but they're filled with different things, one of which is a cheeseburger. It's creepy because it tastes like you have bit into a full cheeseburger. I mean, you've got the pickles and the mustard and the ketchup and the meat and everything else all in one bite. It's really kind of weird, but to me, fantastic because I like all of those things together. Yeah. Justin was saying the downside for Epcot is it's now usually doesn't open until noon. I think 11 a lot of the times is
For us,
when
it
it's
was
opening.
11.
Yeah. And I think they're in the next couple weeks, they're opening at 10 actually for holiday hours. So they are opening a little bit earlier. So yeah, your time for snacking is a little off. So
It's actually difficult because you kind of like, we realize you kind of have to decide, are we just going to snack our way through lunch, or are we actually going to have lunch? Because if you try to do the two,
you're rolling around the world.
your belly's running out of room.
So yeah, and that's the thing for us is we've come to the conclusion when we're there, we eat a ton of small meals.
Yep, same.
Meals. Favorite resort tree? We chatted about that, but we'll go around real quick. Mine was Epcot. Amanda,
Resort.
yours?
Resort.
Resort.
Hotel.
I'm sorry. I should read. I'm not good at reading, obviously.
Here we go. We're going to put it back up for you.
Favorite. Oh, okay, a favorite resort tree. I loved the Grand Floridians. I like it. I'm sorry.
It wasn't inside. It's outside.
Oh, was it outside this year?
My video that comes out Friday, I toured the whole thing.
You're plugging this at all.
Watch my video Friday.
Yeah, subliminal messaging. I haven't gotten to experience as many hotels at Christmas time because last year was the first year we'd ever gone close to Christmas, and we stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge Kidani, and I loved it. We literally watched the tree go up after our Merry Christmas party. They were putting it up when we got back to the hotel. So like that has a soft spot in my heart, but I mean, Grand Floridian is it just is. It's gorgeous.
That is the resort tree. So if you want the pinnacle of a resort tree that's actually in the resort, in a lobby, ginormous, Grand Floridian is your answer. However, my favorite holiday tree is always the one they put up at the Poly.
I was going to say the Poly's.
That's my theme. That's what I love. We have a Polynesian themed Christmas tree. That's how I decorate. But it's an itty bitty tree comparison to the Grand, which is grandiose.
Yeah, it's a slightly more than average height tree.
Now some of the videos I've seen, actually the Wilderness Lodge I did see.
Lodge is a good tree.
Is a pretty cool tree, and you've got the different hiding spots, we'll call them, with the fires that to kind of sneak away and have a drink there. That looked really cool to me. Unfortunately, same with Amanda, I haven't been able to experience a lot of the resort trees. With a little one, it's really difficult because he doesn't want to sit around and have an eggnog by the fire. So,
what's wrong with him? You need to
weird.
So, really need to talk to his parents.
Yeah, they're
guest relations at WDW.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
we did Yacht Club last Christmas, and their tree's gorgeous. I'm not complaining, but it is just like your regular size tree. So I think a lot of the resorts have that regular tree that is gorgeous, and the decorations are ornate to the theme of that location, which is great, which is why it's kind of fun to check them all out. But still, the biggest one, other than the Contemporary, which was outside, the Grand is just the first thing you notice. You walk straight into that lobby, and it's just.
Oh yeah, it's.
And then Beach Club last year, they had a little tree, but what I loved about Beach Club last year is they had a carousel in there.
Yeah, the gingerbread carousel.
But it was gingerbread, which I didn't notice gingerbread. I mean, I know they didn't do the gingerbread house at the Grand Floridian, but I didn't even notice mini.
Only one spot to see a gingerbread creation this year, and that is actually inside of Epcot in the pavilion for the festival. That is really cool, actually. It's Monuments this year, and I'm trying to remember. I don't honestly. I think I got video of it, but at the same time, I was like looking at it, and then I think Little Man had a little bit of a meltdown, and we left. So I don't know how much video I got of it. But yeah, it is that was cool to see that, you know, they still did something gingerbread related. Actually, that pavilion was really cool because they had, for those of you who haven't been there, in between, is that Canada? Is it right before Canada?
It's between Canada and the UK.
That's what yeah, okay.
Yeah, UK.
Right,
it's right by the UK bathrooms.
Yeah. So it's right between Canada and UK, and it's set back. You can't miss it because it looks like Anna and Elsa had a, you know, giant party back there because it's all lit up with uplighting, and it's very festive. It's really cool. It's kind of purple and pink and stuff in the back there. And then you go in there, and actually the first thing you see to the right is a big, there's Olaf, and then one of the, I can't remember the creature's name. The giant marshmallow guy to take pictures in front of. Oh, okay. Justin was saying the Riviera has small trees, but a lot, they're very, very pretty. Again, I need to get to more of the resorts to see more of the trees.
It's one of my favorite things to do this time of year is we would purposely book dining reservations at certain different resorts. So we purposely would go and look, but with COVID and everything, we didn't really get around to do that. But we did see the Riviera because we got off at the Skyliner. And
are they still allowing you to resort hop?
You are not allowed to resort hop, but no one stopped me and was like, what are you doing here? We purposely got off the Skyliner at the Riviera so we could go through the lobby and collect the bus to Disney Springs because it was closer for us to do that than to take the bus to the Grand Floridian, wait for the bus to Disney Springs. So we had a motive. It wasn't, we're just here to gawk and look around.
Yeah, I think if you're like, so if I just went, you know, driving in my car to go to the Riviera, they most likely wouldn't let me in unless I had a dining reservation. If I had a dining reservation, or if I could show that I had, you know, like a mobile order for Contempo Cafe at the Contemporary, they would let me in. But I just want to see all the places and all the things.
Yeah, I think it's like a cast member call, like who sees you when you drive in. But I definitely think it's easier for resort guests to kind of do it. Like I toured
resort transportation.
Yeah, no one stopped me from touring the Polynesian. I toured the Contemporary, Riviera, forget where else we went. No one really stopped me, but I wasn't driving. I was taking official Disney transportation into my property. So I wish they had a photo pass in the World Showplace.
Yeah, like in front of that marshmallow Olaf wall would be such a good photo pass spot, because like we had to take our own photo, which is fine. Like we took our own photos, but you know, when you want a nice family photo with the cool spot, but then I think that there would be that huge crowd right in the front of the pavilion.
And there was getting that anyway, even when we were there.
Well, yeah, once people hear gingerbread house.
Well, that was in the back.
I wanted to ask a question that hopefully isn't, I'm afraid of the answer.
Uh-oh.
So I went in August, I went in October, and I just got back 2 days ago. So there's definitely been an increase of people and kind of a difference of people, but I definitely noticed more, I'm going to take off my mask for a picture people this trip than I noticed before. And I will say that these people drive me crazy because it is 100% against policy. And I really don't want a reason for Disney to have to close down. So I am 100% for just following the rules and wear your mask. But did you guys notice there were more, me quickly slip off my mask and take a photo going on?
I would say I haven't seen a ton of it. Like
it's
I saw more of it. I saw more of it actually at Disney Springs
Yeah.
when we were there, of
And
taking your mask down and like taking selfies and whatever. But I have noticed a lot on social media,
yes.
people talking about their current, like, it's not like, I post a photo from last year and I say, man, really missing Disney last year, whatever. It's people that are saying, just got back from my trip, and you can see the masks around their neck. And I'm like, this is just follow the rules.
I guess
Just follow the rules.
and this just recently happened within the last, well, I think that was around October, actually, because I went July, I've went in October, and I've gone December now. I think I saw more personally. I think I saw more during October than I did December.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, we were on there for Halloween, and then we went the first week of December. And I think it was Jason Aldean. I think it was. I could be wrong, but Jason Aldean was at Animal Kingdom for just before Halloween. And he and his whole crew have their mask down. They put it on social media, and they're like, "Well, it's just a photo, and there's no one else around." I'm like, it doesn't matter. And it drives me nuts. And I'm not saying that any of the channels that we're currently talking to, it drives me nuts when the YouTubers have done it and take their masks down for their profile, or not their profile picture, but their
thumbnail.
Their thumbnail. It drives me nuts, because if anybody, now we're all small channels here. We don't have Tim the Tracker status of, hundreds of thousands of viewers. And I'm not saying Tim the Tracker has done this either. But
he is not. He's been following the rules. He always follows the rules.
Yeah,
he's very.
Yeah, he really is. I got to meet him. Got to meet. I've got actually Jackson and my little man got to share a spoon actually.
Yes.
So, it was cute because my little man handed Jackson
Bye, Justin. Have a good trip. Thanks for
enjoy.
But yeah, we don't need to talk about him. He gets enough.
Yeah, but it's those folks that decide to take their mask down for their thumbnails. That drives me nuts.
And even like for myself, like I feel weird, and I end up trying not to use the footage. Like if I'm getting food at Epcot and eating it and talking about it, if I don't show myself actually eating the food, I try not to use the footage, because I don't want people to be like, oh, why is she just standing there without her mask on?
Yeah,
and that's not being not being a good advocate for the Disney brand or for my own brand, because I do want to follow the rules. And so I try and make sure that when I am filming that, I either am like, hey, I'm trying this bread and cheese dish from Germany. It's delicious. I'm going to keep eating it, because I don't want people to just assume that I'm standing here for 5 minutes talking about something when I should have my mask on.
And it's the folks that I'm using YouTubers as an example, but it's those folks that decide to walk around and still drink their gigantic Starbucks or whatever,
which they're not supposed to do anymore.
Exactly. And I don't know how to do it besides have triple the staff and have basically a staff. Yeah, it's not going to happen. But have a staff basically spaced out about as often as there's a trash can. I
actually saw moms encouraging their kids to take off masks, which was discouraging. Like, we were in Japan. We went to Japan to get some vegetarian sushi, and we were on our way out. And this mom wanted to take pictures of her kids in front of the gardens, which I get. The gardens are beautiful. So the kid actually says, "Mom, should I take my mask off?" And she's like, "Absolutely." They were at the exit of the restaurant. So it's not even like they were in some obscure place where there's no one walking by. I mean, we were at an exit. And then one night I was at the I was at the Grand Floridian, which is the resort I stayed at. And I went down to ask the front desk a question. And this woman dressed to the nines with both her parents, who were very elderly, they had the glitter mask. They had the whole shebang. I don't know if they were there for dinner or if that's just how they are when they go to the Grand Floridian. They were not saying thank you to the cast members after asking their questions. They were that people. I turned my head and they were all taking selfies in front of the Christmas tree without their masks. And it's just people who think the rule doesn't apply to them, or and there, for those of you who've been to the Grand, the tree's in the center, but there's a bunch of seating around, so you're not exactly alone.
Yeah.
And I wondered, I definitely saw an increase of the people of the, let me just quickly take this off and snap a picture.
And to me, don't get me wrong, it's, once in a lifetime trips. I get that you don't want to have that mask, but it is the rules.
And also how many people are really taking their once in a lifetime, they're literally never going to go again trips.
And that's the thing. I don't think as many people are taking those once in a lifetime trips because of the limitations or the thought that there is less magic.
Yeah.
But for those of us who go, once a year, more than once a year, it's not that I like having the masks on. I don't.
No.
But at the same time, I'm going to, at some point, I hope, look back at these pictures and go, wow.
Yeah.
We had to wear masks and we had to do all of this stuff in order to see Disney in that time. And, to show little man in the pictures that, he's under 2. He doesn't need a mask currently. But it's one of those things that, it's, to me, those are almost as important to have the pictures with the masks as someday without them.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a historical time. Well, the other thing I get as someone who is I've taken several photography classes, so I'm not calling myself a photographer, but as someone who definitely has 15 different cameras and knows her way around photography, someone who is on Instagram, someone who is a YouTuber, to quickly take off your mask for a snap of the so-called perfect picture is not a thing. You have to take like 15 to 30 pictures hoping you get the one magical one. So for me, it's not really
no.
You need more than the one picture. And plus you got to focus, you got to angle. It's not what people, I don't know.
No, I agree. I am a photographer. That's actually how I started all of my YouTube stuff. Is I started because I had all the stuff to do with photography anyway. So why not? And yeah, as a photographer, nothing's quick. It's their setup.
You're not going to get that best shot that you're going to frame of your family and have in the living room for all time.
Let's be honest. You're not doing that on a selfie either.
You're not doing that like this.
And if you do, moving on. Okay.
Listen, I love having a mask for pictures because it's less work for me. I don't have to be like, oh, does my smile look real? Does it look fake? Do I have something in my
makeup from here up?
True story. I'm like, do I have, is there something in my teeth? Do I still have some, leftover, pieces of broccoli in my teeth? You'll never know.
I got to ask though, do you still smile?
Yes.
Yes, because it's in your eyes.
Yes. Well, exactly. I do too. But I'm like, there are some people that I don't think do. And you can tell though that they're not smiling. But I always love when I've got like my sunglasses on and a mask, because then I'm like, do I still smile?
You're like, okay, my cheekbones are going to go up a little bit.
Yeah, my cheekbones. But I always love doing messing with the photo pass. People going, I blinked when I've got sunglasses on. I'm sure they hear it all the time, and I'm sure it's absolutely original.
I've never heard that, so
I've never said it.
I'm going to tell Mike that, and I guarantee he will do that on Saturday when we're in Disney. And
to be honest,
we'll see how it goes.
The photo pass people are amazing. They always do a fantastic job. And even if they do hear that joke 3 million times, they still actually deal with it okay.
Yeah.
I have not used it. That's
I've got big dark glasses that you can't see my eyes at all. So but
my kids, I can tell they're not smiling. And it drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, So we always take the family shot, and the youngest is usually in front of me, and I'm over here kind of like squeezing
Tickling.
him to get him to kind of smile, because you can tell.
Oh yeah. Well, little man's a ham, so just he smiles.
Wait till it's a forced smile. My daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it'll come
no
eventually.
more smiling.
Yeah, JP's hit or miss. It depends on the day and his mood. Sometimes it's, he just stands there. Sometimes it's like, I have to tickle him.
Yeah.
Or sometimes he just stands in front of the camera and he literally, like, obviously without glass on, he'll go. And like, so he's got his mask on. So now all you see is literally, it looks like his eyes are closed because
He's just squinting.
He's just squinting and he's smiling so hard. So, and it's always one or the other. There's no in between.
The lovely phases of children smiling. Well, my daughter's excited because she has braces, right? So normally if we were taking a nice family photo shot, we would have to bring all the things for the braces to make sure she's, the pearly whites are not broccoli, spinach, whatever caught inside. The mask. She's like, Mom, it doesn't even matter. I'm like, yeah, and I can have garlic breath and no one even cares. So I mean, there are
except me. It's just that recycled garlic bread is just horrible.
I pack gum and I'm chewing my gum underneath my mask. But to round things back to the original point of all of this is comparing this year to last year. As much as I miss the party, I don't miss the waiting around. I don't miss the lines for something that's going to go by in a second. And I love that the cavalcades are actually using parade floats from the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So it's like you still get a taste of that parade without it being, let's sit on the curb for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think that, to go back, is the magic still there? Yep, it really is. There may be some decorations that aren't up. We talked about Toy Story, but overall, is it still magical? Is it still beautiful? Does it still? Yeah, it does. And I had told somebody just recently that, I come from the land that is snow and, you would think is, heavy Christmas, but there is nothing more Christmassy to me than walking into one of the Disney parks and just hearing the music and seeing all the decorations. It really does. Yeah. You're, as Disney fan says, you're seeing Santa multiple times. And Santa's calling out to people and, he
totally signals you out. So my son was standing next to me and I'm filming. So I'm like oblivious to anything outside of my camera range, right? All of a sudden Santa yells, "Oh, I'm so glad you were a good boy this year," and like points to my son. And I'm like, and stupid me didn't take the camera over to like show that he was actually talking to my kid. But yeah, it's just amazing to me.
No, and I heard Santa calling out to, happy birthdays, even.
Yes.
So yeah, it's, Santa knows if you're naughty or nice, or if it's your birthday. And
he gives cocktail tips because I saw him at Epcot in front of Not Quite Mexico Pavilion. And he was telling some other guests of a good cocktail or a good beverage that they could be getting in the area.
Hey, you got to get the rosy nose somehow.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff. He does vacation at Disney World when Christmas is all over. I mean, this is his place. So.
But yeah, overall, I think it's unanimous with our group here that it truly, the magic is still there. It is still definitely worth going. You've got another 16 days. So if you're planning on getting, or 15 days until New Year's there, and last year at least, I know the tree at Animal Kingdom was up well into mid-January, actually.
Yeah, they keep them up for a while. It takes some time to put them up. They're not rushing.
No, they don't rush nearly the same, but they do kind of strip one park kind of per, not night, but necessarily per kind of like week.
Yeah.
I noticed because everything else was down except Animal Kingdom, which was last year was great because I hadn't got the nighttime shot of Animal Kingdom's tree. So I was there in January and got it. So,
Sure.
but it was, it absolutely is worth a trip. If we going back to if this is not your once in a lifetime trip, even if it is your once in a lifetime
I think
trip.
even if it is, because especially if you have kids change year after year, and this might be the perfect age for your child. And next year, even if COVID is less, hopefully, or gone, hopefully, your child's going to be at a different point in your life. Coming from a travel agent standpoint, I've had so many people cancel or want to cancel because their kid can't hug Mickey right now. Their kid can't hug princesses right now. And I totally get that feeling because I am a mom and my kids were that age once too. But at the same point, is if you wait too long, is
that
your
magic,
kid really
the magic for your child might be gone. Now, for me, watching my little man wave at the parade people,
or them signaling him out because of his costume. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The fact, and that's the other thing about the cavalcades right now is they single you out.
Yeah.
Like it's like they point and wave, and it's a very personal feeling.
Not the generic.
No.
Oh yeah. Mary Poppins had a conversation with Josiah during one of the cavalcades at Magic Kingdom, and my heart broke because Mary Poppins is my favorite. And so I was like, she talked to you. You're so lucky. You have no idea.
Yeah.
But then he called Bert. I was like, look, buddy, it's Mary. And he goes, and look, it's Santa with him. And I was like, no, that's Bert. That's not Santa. I was like, Bert, just wait a couple minutes. Santa's going to come through.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, overall, the magic with the cavalcades and the magic. Yes, you can't hug them right now. Okay.
I always say if your 2-year-old doesn't know that they once could have hugged Mickey, it's not really going to affect him right now. It's usually the parents. It's the parents having this ideal in their head of what they think their trip needs to include. And the same thing with the fireworks. I'm telling you right now, as a mom with little kids, my son, who is almost 9, has never seen Disney fireworks. You want to know why? Because he's in bed by 7, 8, even 9 o'clock to the point where he can't even remotely attempt to be up for the fireworks. And a lot of families are like that. Not everyone has a night owl.
Yeah, I have a night owl. So
and mine's a night owl, but he hates loud noises like fireworks. So like we watch them on TV, totally fine. When we're in the parks and he hears the fireworks, it's a no-go. So for us, not having fireworks and not having to plan either leaving the park or being on a ride at that time is great.
No. And you did mention a good point. For those of you who don't know, they actually show last year's fireworks show on the TV. And so I lied. My son has seen Disney fireworks on TV in the resort 5 nights ago. And he goes, oh, that's what I was missing. Cool. It didn't affect him at all.
Well, guys, speaking of night owl, I'm guessing we should probably wrap this up because I know my night owl, it's getting near his bedtime.
Same. And also for myself personally.
Well, that too. Yeah. Work comes real early in the morning, unfortunately.
Yes, it does.
My kids are already sleeping.
Yeah. Again, night owl. He's probably watching Moana right now is my guess, but
you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Trust me, I can recite the entire rap portion of that flawlessly. And my mom kind of looked at me. She's like, you've watched that too many times.
All right, next episode. Moana featuring Nick from Who Dat Travel.
It's just going to be him telling the entire story of Moana.
Yes,
line for line.
Me doing every character of Moana.
And sound effects, please. Thank you very much.
I've already written it down. Episode 4.
All right, it's already
Nick is Maui. Put on your costume.
Yeah, I've got to put on my costume from Halloween. You got it. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll do some wrapping up here. Amanda, what have you got coming up on your channel?
Well, for anybody that follows my channel, you know that we did just move to Florida, and so our channel's been a little bare because of that. But we just had our video come out of our moving day and the absolute train wreck of our moving day. But if you haven't seen that, don't worry. Our stuff is here. Look I have a bed now. It only
was just gonna ask. I'm like a spoiler, but I didn't know if it was gonna be a spoiler alert.
Oh no! No! Our stuff is here. It took 3 weeks to get our stuff here. It was absolutely horrible. Do not recommend. Drive your own stuff. But coming up on the channel, we did just go to Disney a couple weekends ago where we met up with Nick. We hung out with Mackenzie Taylor. We FaceTimed Matt from Teacup for One while we were in the Canada Pavilion because he's from Canada.
Because it's just a real Canada thing to do.
Because I mean,
I missed everything because I didn't get to be involved in this.
And then you missed everything. So next trip, just let me know when you're down and we'll meet up. But yeah, so all that footage from Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Magic Kingdom will be up. And then we are going to Disney all the time. We just actually booked a trip for New Year's Eve. So we're going to be at Magic Kingdom New Year's Eve, which they're not open all the way until midnight.
They're only till 11, if I remember right.
But they're open until 11. So by the time we get back to our hotel, it'll probably be about midnight. So can't think of a better way to end 2020 than by being in Magic Kingdom.
We had thought about it too. Yeah. So
jealous.
So that's me. Check that out on my channel. You can find that at Amanda Hyde or search the Hydes Do Disney and we should show up.
And the link will be below.
Link down below.
Because Nina does it. So, and for my channel, as you've been hearing, we just got back from Disney as well. We were there over a weekend, and so it was a crazy weekend that actually had been sold out and to capacity at all of the parks.
Yep.
So I kind of did a, how to survive a capacity day. So we've got, and with a toddler. So we did that. We've got our, travel day, which we kind of split into 2 days, which we drove from our hometown to one of the major airport hubs, Chicago, and, kind of did it a little bit different than we normally do. So we've got a travel day video coming up there. Hey there. And so we've got a bunch of also toddler stuff coming up, best rides and those types of things. So with that being said, let's check out what Miss Nina has.
Well, as I've said already for the 2000s time.
Wait, Nina, do you have a video coming out on Friday?
I didn't think she released them on Friday.
This is a special release just for her YouTube fan club, for her Patreon page. Just kidding.
Here, I just got back from Disney, 8 days. We stayed at the Grand Floridian, and yes, we did all the parks, and yes, we did Disney Springs, and yada, yada, yada. I visited and toured a lot of the resorts, including the Contemporary at Christmas time, coming out Friday. I also toured the construction over at the Poly, so that'll be its own video. I just released all the Magic Kingdom cavalcades in one video that came out on Tuesday. So yeah, I'm just kind of going through the footage at this point, but I'm trying to push out the Christmas related footage first. But yeah, so it's all Disney World at Christmas time on my channel until I go back. But you guys had a fun little visit with each other. I actually met Mary over at the Siskett Years. Met her at Animal Kingdom.
Mary's wonderful. We met back in July, and she is just a wonderful human. And we also met her best friend, Cameron and Daniel from Day Tripping Disney as well. They're wonderful people. I love them.
It's funny because when I met her, I was probably like in a daze because you don't expect to be walking through, Animal Kingdom on your family vacation, hearing someone scream, Nina, Nina. And of course I turned my head around and it's Mary. So yeah, but she definitely took me by surprise. I guess I'm not used to my I don't have a fan base, so I'm not really.
That was
that.
us with Nick as well. We were like, who is this person like coming up to us? Like, stay 6 feet apart, please.
What the? Hey, you know. But
yeah, so it's fun when you can go on your trip and kind of
see extended family nowadays.
Yeah. So it was definitely exciting. Made my day actually. And then, we kind of said goodbye because I was on a path and she was on a path. And then we saw each other again, an hour or so later. But anyway, it's kind of fun. But yeah, on my channel is Christmas at Disney. And then just our trip. We'll start with the travel day and we'll go through all 8 days. But I definitely took extensive footage at the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian, and the Contemporary for Christmas time. And that will all be up soonish. But yeah, so you guys didn't realize we are doing this every Wednesday night. We are planning your Disney vacation. So we will have a subject matter at hand that we will talk about. But we are also taking your audience questions to help you with any sort of situation you have a question about. Everything from parks. We helped someone with an airplane question a couple weeks ago. So whatever kind of little questions you have, we've been to the parks. We're going back. We will have other guest channels pop up every now and then so we can help you guys. So please be sure to like this video, please, please, please. And as I forget who said it, Nick or Amanda said it, down below in the description is links to all the channels. So please be sure to subscribe. And loved meeting you. And yes, we will be live next. Oh, I don't know, Nick. 2 days before Christmas. Can we do it?
I think we could probably still pull it off.
Yeah, I think it's far enough away that
Christmas
I can
Eve.
take a break from what?
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. I think I can take a break from all my cookie making that my kids are assuming I'm making a bazillion cookies. Because last year not that I want to hash it up, but last year we were at Disney for our usual 8-day trip. We got the flu. We were in quarantine at Yacht Club. We couldn't fly home when we were supposed to. We finally flew home Christmas Eve. Got home, no Christmas tree, no decorations, no Christmas cookies. Because we were at Disney, right? And we get a real tree. So I didn't want to buy a real tree to have it kind of die and not get watered for 8 days. So yeah, we came home Christmas Eve, still very much sick. We wore masks to absolutely no Christmas anything in the house. So the kids are excited this year to have a Christmas and have 5 bazillion cookies and a tree and the whole thing. So anyway, long story short, yes, we will be up next Wednesday. So yeah, so thank you everyone for watching and commenting. And yeah, be sure to stay tuned. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, right? So what do you want to do, Nick?
Well, we should probably go through our normal. We'll see you real soon. Amanda?
I don't have a sign up anymore because I moved, but we'll see you on random days for random videos. Bye.
And Nina.
We're all quickly trying to exit. Apparently these kids are really trying to go to bed. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Mahalo. Nina out.